Presents Chapter 1, the $1,000 Trap, Why Most People Waste It Without Realizing They're Wasting it. Okay, so the first thing we need to talk about is what wasting money actually looks like, because it's probably not what you think. Presents. Most people here don't waste your money, and they think that means don't buy things, don't go out, don't have fun. That's not what I'm saying at all. What I'm actually talking about is the financial version of spinning your wheels. You feel like you're moving, but you're not going anywhere. Presents. Here's what the $1,000 trap looks like in real life. You save up $1,000. You feel good about it. And then one of three things happens. One, you spend it on something that felt necessary but wasn't. A new phone upgrade, a weekend trip, some purchase you convinced yourself you deserved. And look, presents. I'm not saying you can never spend money on things you enjoy, but if your financial foundation is not built yet and you're burning your first $1,000 on lifestyle before you've got any cushion, that's a problem. Two, you let it sit in a regular checking account doing absolutely nothing. Presents. Your bank is probably paying you somewhere around 0.01% interest on that money. Meanwhile, a high yield savings account right now is paying somewhere in the 4 to 5% range. That's not life-changing money at 1,000, but the habit matters. You're leaving free money on the table for no reason. Three, and this is the most common one, you just don't do anything because you don't know what to do. And doing nothing feels safer than making the wrong move. The reality is doing nothing is a move. It's just usually the wrong one. This is where people get themselves in trouble, not from one bad decision, but from a long string of small delays that add up to years of lost progress. Chapter 2. Your money has adjabed the exact order your first 1,000 should move through, all right? So here's the framework I actually use and what I would do if I was starting from scratch with $1,000 in my account today. The idea is simple. Every dollar you have should have a job, and your first $1,000 has a very specific job depending on where you are financially. Let me break this down step by step. Step 1. Wipe out any high interest debt first. If you have credit card debt, a payday loan, or anything sitting above 8 or 9% interest, that needs to go before anything else. And I know people push back on this. They say, but what about investing? Here's the math. If you've got $1,000 in a credit card at 22% interest and you put that $1,000 into the stock market instead, you're earning maybe 8 to 10% on a good year, but you're losing 22% on the debt side. You are going backwards. Pay the debt. It's the highest guaranteed return you're going to get. Now, if your debt is low interest, like a student loan sitting at 4 or 5%, it's a different conversation. You can work on that slowly while doing other things simultaneously. But high interest debt, that's the first job your $1,000 has. Step 2, build a starter emergency fund. Once high interest debt is out of the picture, your next priority is having a small cushion. I'm not talking about a full 3 to 6 month emergency fund yet. That comes later. Right now, we're just talking about a $500 to $1 1,000 buffer so that when something unexpected happens, car repair, medical bill, phone breaks, you're not immediately reaching for a credit card and going right back into debt. This money goes into a high yield savings account, not your checking account where you'll spend it. A separate account that you basically forget about unless something actually goes wrong. Right now, you can find high yield savings accounts paying around 4 to 5% APY, which means on $1,000, you're making $40 to $50 a year just for letting it sit there. It's not sense, but it's not supposed to be glamorous. It's supposed to be boring and safe, and that's the point. Step 3, capture any free money available to you. If your employer offers a 401A match and you're not contributing enough to get the full match, that is the next thing. This is genuinely free money. If your employer matches 3% of your salary and you're not contributing at least 3%, you are leaving part of your compensation on the table every single paycheck. Before you invest anywhere else, before you open a Roth IRA, before you do anything, get the full match. A 100% instant return on your money does not exist anywhere else. Now, here's the thing. Some people hear all of this and say, okay, but I only have $1,000. I can't do all of these at once. And you're right. So the order matters. High interest debt first, starter emergency fund second, 401A match third, in that order. Don't skip ahead. That's the foundation. That's when the real conversation about building wealth actually starts. Chapter 3, the investing conversation, when to start, where to put it, and why you're probably overthinking it. Okay, so now we get to the part everyone actually wants to talk about, investing. And I'm going to be honest with you, this is where most people in their 20s either freeze up completely or go way too far in the other direction and start throwing money at random stocks and crypto because they saw something on social media. Both of those are wrong, and neither of them need to happen. Here's what I would actually do once the foundation is covered, meaning no high interest debt, starter emergency fund is sitting in a high yield savings account, and you're getting your full 401 match. The next job for your money is a Roth IRA. If you don't know what a Roth IRA is, here's the plain English version. It's a retirement account where you put in money you've already paid taxes on. It grows completely tax free, and when you pull it out in retirement, you pay 0 taxes on it. That's the deal. And for someone in their 20s who's probably in a lower tax bracket right now, this is almost always the right move. The contribution limit right now is $7,000 a year. That's about 5. You need to max it out immediately, especially if you're working with your first $1,000 and but even putting $50 or $100 a month into a Roth IRA starting at 22 versus starting at 32 is a massive difference over time. Here's a rough number to make this real. If you put $200 a month into a Roth IRA starting at 22 and earn an average 8% annual return, by the time you're 62, you're looking at somewhere around $700,000. If you wait until 32 to start that same habit, that number drops to around $300,000. Same behavior, 10-year difference. That's $400,000 just from starting earlier. Now, where do you actually put the money inside the Roth IRA? This is where people way overcomplicate it. You do not need to pick individual stocks. You do not need to research companies. For most people starting out, a simple broad market index fund, something like a total stock market fund or an S&P 500 index fund, is completely fine. It's diversified, it's low cost, and historically it's averaged around 8 to 10% annually over long periods of time. Keep it simple. Fidelity, Schwab, and Vanguard are all solid platforms to open a Roth IRA. Pick one, set up automatic contributions, and then leave it alone. The mistake a lot of people make here is they open the account, watch the balance go up and down, and panic when the market dips. That's not investing. That's just stress. Real investing is boring on purpose. You set it, you automate it, and you let time do the heavy lifting. You do not need to overcomplicate this. Seriously, chapter 4, the lifestyle tax, the silent killer that drains your first $1,000 before you even touch it. All right, this last chapter is the one most people skip over, and it might actually be the most important one because here's what makes sense. You watch a video like this, you feel motivated, you set up the high yield savings account, you open the Roth IRA, you're doing everything right, and then 3 months later, you look at your bank account and wonder where all your money went. The answer is almost always lifestyle inflation. Here's what lifestyle inflation actually looks like in your 20s. You get a raise at work, and instead of saving the extra money, your spending quietly increases to match your new income. You start making a little more, so you upgrade your apartment, you go out a little more. You subscribe to a few more things, you get a nicer car, and at the end of the month, you've got roughly the same amount left over as before, even though you're earning more. This is the lifestyle tax. And it is the single biggest reason people in their 20s and 30s feel like they can never get ahead even when their income is going up. Here's the move. Every time your income goes up, raise, side income, bonus, whatever it is, before you adjust your lifestyle, automate a portion of that increase directly into savings or investing, even if it's just 50% of the raise. You get a $200 a month raise, put $100 of it straight into your Roth IRA or savings before you ever see it. The other $100 you can spend however you want. But protect half of every income increase before lifestyle creep can get to it. The other piece of this is subscriptions and recurring expenses. I'm not going to tell you to cancel Netflix, but do a quick audit of everything that hits your account automatically every month. Most people I talk to find anywhere from $50 to $150 a month in subscriptions they forgot about or genuinely don't use. That's $600 to $1,500 a year. On your first $1,000, that math matters a lot. And look, I'm not saying live like you're broke. I'm saying be intentional. There's a difference between spending money on things that actually matter to you and letting money quietly disappear on things you don't even notice. The people who build real wealth in their 20s aren't always the ones making the most money. They're the ones who figured out how to widen the gap between what they earn and what they spend and then put that gap to work. That's it. That's the whole game.